Hi everybody. I chose to do my community needs assessment on Marshall County, Illinois. I wanted to share my screen, but I'm in Canada at fishing, and we don't have any Wi-Fi, so I have to look at my other screen and try to do this, and hopefully I can load it on the dock after a bit. It's the only place that gets Wi-Fi here. So anyway, Marshall County, Illinois is I chose this because it's close to where I grew up, and it's pretty impoverished. So I think I have in here there's 7 towns within this county, and none of them really have much. So just to focus on one town would be like focusing on any of the other towns. None of them have anything really, so I thought I would just group them all into the one whole county and talk about it that way. Their community structure. I'll share all this on the. Hopefully, we post this for everyone to see. I'm not sure. But it's okay. So I wrote down it is located between. It's kind of in the north central part of Illinois, approximately 35 miles east to west and 10 miles north to south. That's the width of the county. Um, mm, mm. The Illinois River intersects the county. So there's a waterway. 120 miles southwest of Chicago, 30 miles northeast of Peoria, Illinois, and 90 miles southeast of where I currently live in the Quad Cities, Bettendorf, Iowa. And let's see, the community history named after the Supreme Court Chief Justice John Marshall. I just put this was a great project. I put a lot of stuff into this. It's like 14 pages. It's, let's see, so, it is ranked, so, the state of Illinois has 102 counties, and this is ranked 100th for population, so it's sparsely populated, and 73rd for population density by square mile. Number of housing units in the whole county, there are 5,800 and 58 homes. 4,100 of those are owner occupied, that's 71%. And 814 were renter occupied. 863 are vacant, which is no good to have vacancies, empty homes sitting around. The median home value is 125,000, and the average home value is 151,000. So not all that expensive. Education, in Marshall County compared to the whole state of Illinois, 72% of children nursery and preschool age go to attend school in Marshall County, and in Illinois in general, it's 62% of kids that in that age group that attend a school. Kindergarten, it's 72% of kids from Marshall County, 84% for Illinois as a whole. Elementary school, so grades 1 through 4, 96% of the kids in Marshall County attend elementary school, where 88% of kids that age in Illinois in general attend school, public school. So this probably doesn't accurately account for homeschooled children, but also there's, I'm sure, homeless kids that aren't accounted for, and kids passing through for one reason or another. So there's all kinds of reasons that numbers could be skewed. And then, so elementary, grades 5 through 8, 97% in Marshall County attend school, and 89% in Illinois in general. And high school is 97% for Marshall County and 90% for Illinois overall. So that's probably some kids dropping out of school too. Let's see, we have 7 elementary schools in Marshall County, and then there's 3 high schools. Places of worship of any denomination, that's another one that's kind of hard to track because churches, well, there's 8 in the county. Um, looks like over half of them are Baptist churches, but like people can start churches in their home, and that might not be accounted for or registered officially anywhere. So it looks like 8, but there could be more. Industry, the highest percentage of the biggest industry people are involved in for work is manufacturing. That's 20% of the population of workers in Marshall County. The average commute time is 29 minutes, and that's 87% of workers that drive alone. So they have to commute for their work every day. And then actually, manufacturing was second. Educational services, healthcare, and social assistance, that's 21.5%. So that one's first. And then manufacturing. And then it's, after that, retail trade. So none of these really make a ton of money for anybody. It's a lot of service industry kind of things. Transportation, average car ownership, there's 2 cars per household on average. There is a tiny airport in this county, a regional airport that flies to Rockford and outside of Chicago. There are no trains, no bus service. There are taxi services, but that's kind of spotty. It's usually Lyft or Uber now. There's I included a schedule of there's some like smaller church services that offer transportation for different to get to like the grocery store once or twice a week, things like that. There's also, where did they find, yep, and from town to town, and looks like there's a library schedule on there too. There are 2 libraries in this county, Henry Public Library and Lacan Public Library. The television, so for communication, they don't have a television station or radio station. They are close enough to the Quad Cities where I live, where they get those stations with their satellites and whatnot. And then Peoria and like some might reach into the Chicago area radio stations. There's a that's fine. There's a radio station. Well, no, there's not. They just also from the Quad Cities. There's the Marshall County News is the only newspaper in the county. They do also have internet, though that's probably pretty spotty, I would imagine, but they have Extreme, Frontier, HughesNet, stuff like that. There's a disaster planning Bureau County. Okay, so the next county over provides disaster services, disaster planning services, and communications. So food security, as of 2022, the prevalence of food insecurity in Marshall County was 10.1%. So 1 in 10 people is food insecure. There is a grocery store. Where's that at? Marshall County. They're mostly convenience stores, though. It's like little gas station stores. So we all know that that's primarily going to be highly processed packaged foods, freezer, like frozen pizzas and stuff. It's a pretty, I wouldn't say a big agriculture community, but there's a lot of cropland. And I believe those are mostly not small family farms, but kind of like bought up by conglomerate agriculture, big factory farm kind of thing. It looks like corn for grain is occupies 95, almost 96,000 acres in this county. And soybeans 74,000 acres. So, and probably a lot of that's for grain, but also for ethanol is a big thing in the Midwest here, and soybeans for soy products. Looks like livestock. The biggest is cattle. 6,000 head of cattle in this county as of 2022. Farmers markets, that's one of the things I noted on as a gap. They don't have any farmers markets that are registered for people to find. So if there are any out there, it might be word of mouth or someone's like produce truck that parks on the corner a couple times a week or whatever, but nothing officially is registered for people to rely on for their produce. Try to get through this a little faster. There's a couple of restaurants, but they're like mostly pubs. There's an Italian food restaurant in Toluca, Illinois. A Subway. Looks like there's a pizza place. Pretty small though. There are no malls, chain stores. There's a Dollar General market. For Dollar General, yeah, I mean they're convenient, but they're a little pricey, so that is helpful, but it's kind of expensive to shop there. Then there's a tractor parts store in rural Lacan, Illinois. Let's see, the population. As of 2020, the population of this county was 11,700, and that is down from 2010. So population has decreased by 7% in the last 14 years. Median age of residents it's 46.5, so it's kind of an older population. Mostly white people, 94% are white non-Hispanic. And females and males are about the same, 5,800 males, 5,900 females. Median household income was 60,000. Average household income was 76,000. Poverty rate, 11.4%. Of that, it's mostly white females in poverty. It's 28.5% white females, 19% white males, and then it's black females, Hispanic females, mostly females. The education level, 92% only have a high school diploma. But still, that's a high school diploma, so it's better than nothing. Marital status, 55% are married. English only households, 97%. Top causes of death, 34%. In 2021 in this county, 34 deaths were attributed to heart disease, 23 deaths from cancer, 17 deaths from COVID in 2021, and then there's stroke and Alzheimer's disease, car accidents. Birth rate, 6-year average of 115 births per year in this county. They have a sanitation, like a water supply and quality department, sewage disposal, solid waste disposal, recycling department. Recycling, they do recycle plastic 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. So that's a surprise. Usually it's just 1 and 2 where I live in the Quad Cities, in Bettendorf. Recreation, they have parks, hiking, camping, fishing. So they have some little waterways where you can do some fishing. And some outdoor activities. And they do have a little golf course, Timber Ridge in Lacan, Illinois. A little theater, the River Valley Players in Henry, Illinois. There's a sheriff's department in Lacan. Fire and rescue. There's a disaster planning website, emergency preparedness. They have a whole website on preparing for disease outbreaks, bioterrorist events, and pandemic stuff. Let's see, there's a lot more. I have some websites on here from the CDC that the town websites provide for emergency management. Healthcare. So healthcare coverage, 49.5% of males have healthcare coverage, 50.5% of females have healthcare. Medicare, 14% are on Medicare, 18.7% on Medicaid. There's a tiny hospital in Henry, Illinois, part of this county. So everyone in the county goes to this hospital, or it's the closest one for anybody in the county. There's, let's see, rehab in Lacan. There are some services for the elderly and for pregnancy and parenting, domestic violence. Let's see, I'm gonna just speed this up. I got a lot of stuff on here. There's some WIC resources. Yeah, some of this is not in the county, but it's right outside the county in a neighboring county, but it's close enough people can get to it, for like Salvation Army, and applying for TANF and SNAP benefits. There's some stuff on let's see, the strength. So I identified 3 strengths. Home ownership in Marshall County. So it's primarily, let's see, 78.7% of the county residents do own their homes. Another one, so 85% of those homes that are owned by married couple families. So they're a married couple or a married couple with a family. So 85%, I thought that was a strength. Strong families, hopefully, so is what that means. And then I thought the abundance of natural resources is a strength for any community, for outside time, outside space, fresh air. Some recreation is important for the children. That was those are strengths. And then existing program strengths, they have an annual Marsham County combined with a neighboring county, Putnam County. They have a fair each year, so that encourages kids to get involved in 4-H and the Master Gardener program through the Illinois University Extension Office. They have Master Gardener programs, Master Naturalist program, and parenting programs. So 4-H and ag, part of the fair. That's a strength. Community activities. Some gaps I identified. There's not a lot of transportation, so ambulatory difficulty, people getting around. If they have difficulty, like with disabilities, there aren't a lot of services to transport people in a wheelchair, for example, to the grocery store. I think I did come across, there were some van transportation services, but those vans are hard, they're very expensive, and they're hard to maintain, and it didn't look like they had a very good schedule set up yet for people to be able to rely on that for transportation. Another gap, female householder, no spouse present, family household. So that represented 24% of the total household. So females living alone, with kids or without kids, versus males. So a lot of females are living alone. Males, it was 16% of males living alone. Median earnings by women was $29,000. Median earnings by men was $50,000. So a whole 30,000, $20,000 less per year that females are making versus males. And then a third gap. I don't know, they didn't talk a lot about homelessness in this county. There is probably some. I didn't see much about any homelessness ministries. Among the churches, they offer a lot of programs for different things, but didn't talk about housing shortages for people, and homelessness or anything. I just didn't see any services for people who are unhoused or needing housing assistance in this county. Maybe the neighboring counties help them have a partnership. I'm not sure. Nutrition related gaps, didn't see anything regarding the good grocery stores or farmers markets. So I imagine that fruits and vegetables are hard to come by. And then was that all I wrote? It is all I wrote. So that was 21 minutes. So hopefully that's I don't know, it's just kind of a picture of a small county in Illinois, and it probably parallels a lot of the counties in Illinois and Iowa and probably the Midwest in general. So thanks for watching.